Now, when it comes to Roger Stone, the fat fuck Donald Trump and the January 6th Klan attack, is a major bombshell coming or is it underway? Now, um, did the did the master of Republican black arts finally go too far? And will it be Roger? And this may be Roger Stone's time and the barrel at last. So, if there is one prominent through line connecting the two most corrupt, the one corrupt president and one corrupt squatter in U.S. history, Richard Nixon being the president, Donald Trump being the squatter, it would have to be the person Roger Stone. The man has been at the heart of every election scandal for the past 50 fucking years, and he's still at it even today, because the guy's a fucking inbred idiot. It's quite the legacy for the guy who has Richard Nixon's face tattooed on his ass. It's lucky that he left his chest clear for his last great cause, Donald Trump. Stone's work on Trump's behalf provides the perfect coda to a legendary career as a political dirty trickster and world-class black ops conspiracy theorist mongerer. Roger Stone has had his fingerprints on every nefarious deed that the Republicans have pulled in the last half-century, starting when he was a young guy working on Nixon's re-election campaign back in 1972 and given the job of spying on rival campaigns and finding devious ways to embarrass himself in the press. He has said that during the day he was a scheduler, but at night he was trafficking in the black arts. Back in 1977, at the age of 24, Stone was elected president of the Young Republicans with the help of his buddy Paul Manafort, after they had reportedly compiled whip books, or what we call whip books, or files of personal information, on 800 different delegates in the convention. He went on to work on all of Ronald Reagan's presidential campaigns, doing what he does best. Stone has claimed, for example, that he served as a go-between when Roy Cohn, the infamous mob lawyer and mentor to Donald Trump, got a liberal Republican, John Anderson, on the New York general election ballot as a third-party candidate back in 1980. Splitting the vote and allowing Reagan to win that state. Stone has hinted that he delivered a suitcase full of money to a lawyer to make this happen. Now, who knows if that's even true or not, but that's what he claimed. But then I don't believe anything Roger Stone says anyway. So Stone then teamed up with Manafort, Charlie Black, and the infamously Atwater to form a lobbying and consulting firm that became known as the Torturers Lobby for its willingness to represent the world's most famous dictators, along with such right-wing luminaries as Rupert Murdoch. He worked with Trump for years as an advisor and lobbyist for his gambling interests, and later as the manager of Trump's brief campaign for the Reform Party's nomination for 2000. Now, yes, Stone was deeply involved in the Hills in Florida recount, taking credit for the famous Brooks Brothers riot that delayed the vote count long enough for the Supreme Court to intervene, and others have disputed that he was actually behind that. Throughout the early 2000s, he perpetuated underhanded, dirty tricks in various campaigns, including the information of an anti-Hillary Clinton group in 2008 called Citizens United and Not Timid, purely for the fun of using the crude acronym to own the Democrats. And that backfired on him. But 2015, he was egging on his old pal Donald Trump to run for squatter again, and for real this time. He worked for the Trump campaign at first in an official capacity, and then up the books to practice his dark arts, is what he prefers to call it. You may recall back in 2019 that Stone was convicted on charges relating to his alleged coordination with WikiLeaks aimed at sabotaging Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. But the Attorney General, the fat fuck Bill Barr, rode to his rescue, overruling the career prosecutors and recommending a light sentence, which Trump then commuted. All four prosecutors withdrew from the case in protest, and that was the closest call of Stone's career and the only time anyone has ever seriously tried to hold him liable for his pathetic and toxic influence in American politics. And Trump being the corrupt piece of shit that he is, eventually pardoned Stone, which Stone no doubt knew would happen, but he knows where all the Trump bodies are buried. The January 6th House Select Committee had to postpone Wednesday's scheduling the public hearing, with the major hurricane descending on Florida and dominating the news. But as at previous hearings, the committee teased some of its revelations earlier this week, and we know that Stone's involvement in the Trump Klan attack on January 6th will feature heavily in that presentation. Some incriminating clips from an unreleased documentary about Stone that was shot during the 2020 election campaign and its aftermath have already been released. In an interview, in a recent interview, the Danish filmmakers, there have been Danish filmmakers, and they said that the committee lawyers had flown to Copenhagen to see what they had regarding interactions between Stone, the Trump White House, the proud pricks, and the Oath Keepers. Reportedly, they identified around 8 minutes of relevant footage. Even what we've seen so far is startling. In July of 2020, the documentary crew captured Roger Stone saying this. What they're assuming is that the election will be normal. The election will not be normal. These are the California results. Sorry, we're not accepting them. We're challenging them in court. If the electors show up at the Electoral College, armed guards will throw them out. Fuck you. I'm the squatter. Fuck you. You're not stealing Florida. You're not stealing. I'm challenging all of it. And the judges were going to our judges that we appointed. Fuck you. You're not stealing the election. That's basically what Bush did to Gore. So if they want to run a bunch of fake ballots, we'll have an investigation and we'll say these ballots are fake. Your results are invalid. Goodbye. That's the way it's going to have to look. It's going to be really nasty, but you cannot count at it, and we're not going to get an honest election. Technically, this 2020 election was an honest election. It was not stolen. So let's say that Trump is a little behind you right now, which he probably is. That doesn't bother us. But even if he wins an honest election, we're not going to have an honest one. They're going to steal it. Oh yeah, the Republicans did try to steal it in 2020, and they still lost. Now here's where Roger Stone lied, because he claimed that the Democrats cheated, and he claims that the Republicans don't cheat. Bullshit! Setting aside the unbelievable fatuousness of Stone's proclamation that they've never cheated, which is deeply absurd coming from him, but this pretty well lays out the conspiracy to overturn the election 3 months before it was executed. He knew Trump was behind and likely to lose. The question that the House committee is now asking themselves is whether or not Roger Stone and Donald Trump were plotting this together, and whether Stone was colluding with the violent extremists with whom he associated to start that Klan insurrection on January 6th of 2021. Now, if there is anyone in American politics who's capable of doing such a fucking thing, it's Roger Stone. That piece of shit. It would be the ultimate dirty trick of all time, the current achievement of a storied rat fucking career. Now, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. If you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just a little as a few bucks a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.